You're watching the Power Hour, and today we'll be discussing artificial intelligence or AI. In recent years, AI has become a hot topic with its potential to revolutionize various industries and make our lives easier. However, like any other technology, AI also has its pros and cons. Let's dive deeper into it.
ChatGPT's text generation capabilities can be used to cheat on assignments and exams, term papers, even college admissions essays. And the word is out.
I have not used it, but what I've heard is it's pretty much an AI source that completely writes your essays plagiarism free. And you pretty much don't got to put any work into doing college essays anymore.
What do you think about that?
I just think the whole thing has such opportunity and such risk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I've used it. Certain emails and stuff I've written didn't come out the way I wanted it to. So I went to ChatGPT. Now, when it comes to kids in school, is it cheating? I think so. With smartphones, smart TVs, smart vehicles, right? All of this artificial intelligence.
Mm.
What about the human intelligence?
I think we're dumbing ourselves down. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think people don't have to, I'm a fan of working smarter, not harder. But as a writer, I've never utilized something like that. And I'm all about cheat codes, but not in that way. I think there's nothing fulfilling about not writing your own work. And also, I don't know, we're losing so much of the human touch. Is that upsetting you? Or do you like going to walk up somewhere and check out your own groceries and just omitting the middleman? What are your thoughts on all that?
To a certain extent, I don't mind it. Sometimes you want that interaction, though. You want the human interaction. But when you're in a rush, I guess it's okay. I don't.
I agree. And I think I don't know about your outings during the day, but, sporadically in my travels, because I am home a lot, I work from home, I connect with people from all over the world from home. The internet has made the world so small. And so, the pros and the cons, the flip side of everything, is what do we really know about unleashing the truest capabilities of these things? What does it do to our humanism? What does it do to financial gain or loss? What happens to jobs? What do people do? I have a lot of questions.
That's one of the biggest things they say is that it's going to replace, humans and take jobs.
Well, yeah. And when I do go out, because like I say, I work from home and I work behind a computer screen a lot and I connect with people in this way. Well, that's so powerful. When I go out, I'm probably slightly obnoxious because I'm so happy to engage with someone else and inquire about their day or pay them a compliment, because I feel so good when I can light another person up. And we're going to lose so much of this human touch. And then what? And can these things become conscious? Can you imagine?
Listen, there's been, and I should have found the video, but there's something online to where they said it almost took on a mind of its own and started chatting with each other. I think it was Facebook, and so, whoever's watching, you can look it up. But the movie I, Robot. What do you think about? Remember the movie I, Robot with Will Smith? They always say art imitates life, and
Yes.
the robots came, had a conscience and started doing things. Is that a possibility?
I think anything is a possibility. You bet your sweet ass. But you know what else I think? I believe in predictive programming. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Yeah.
We talk about The Simpsons and all of these premonitions and predictions. Do we think that Matthew Groening is psychic? Do we think he can time hop, time travel? I mean, there's a lot of stuff to break in. But also, when I was doing a little bit of research about this topic, do you understand what it takes to build these things on a very like broad level? Like nuclear power plants
Yeah.
have to be used to generate what they need. Like, holy cow.
Yeah.
There's so much that seems like it could go wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Now here's the thing. Now we spoke about we spoke about it taking jobs. Here's the thing. Last year, a popular magazine company has decided to fire all its writers and replace them with the ChatGPT chatbots.
There goes me. And you know something, as a freelance writer that contributed to once many of these health and fitness publications, excuse me, they've a lot, for the most part, have gone digital. And so now this latest thing that you just share is also, my opinion of that is it's very frustrating, because if my livelihood depended upon that right now, there goes that.
Yeah.
Just like with acting, my sister-in-law was part of the whole writer's strike. You know, she works in film and TV production. And just to understand that, and also, you know, once upon a time I worked in film and television. I did extra work and I did acting, and, you know, for actors and extras to just be replaced, I'm fine with that, actually. I don't really want to hear a lot of what they have to say these days, but no, it brings up so many concerns.
Yeah. And speaking of that, with this whole AI and acting thing, I've heard that eventually they're going to replace actors with the whole AI and use the actor's likeness. And there's nothing that they can do about it. Nothing the actors or actresses can do about it. They can use their likeness in a movie. It would look totally real. So when you talk about it, yeah, when you talk about it taking jobs, it's not only the working class as far as the middle class, it's the upper crust as well.
Well, let's take out the elites, or the deletes, as I might prefer to call them these days. I mentioned that recently. I thought it was funny. Yeah, I think if you're someone that enjoys and have a passion for that craft, you're going to need to find a new place to put it, along with myself. I mean, I write, it's therapeutic, it's cathartic. I do it for other purposes, but, you know, then where do we go with that? For gain, for self-gain, for monetary gain. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. You know, I guess it can be a gift and a curse. You know, a gift for those who are benefiting from it, and a curse for people who are being replaced by it.
It always is. And I think I understand that just like we have neurons in our brain and neural connections, these things have like the microchip. I'm probably butchering it, but like the electronic equivalent of a neuron, and they can multiply, and there's like trillions.
Yeah.
What are the capabilities? And the fact is, a lot of what I'm researching tells me that we don't truly understand the capabilities. So why are we screwing with this? And also, if you don't know who like generated the initial programming and what their intentions were, what is built into this? And then if it runs away from us.
Yeah. A lot of personal information can be compromised. You don't know what's in there. I mean, everything about everyone, you know, it's in there. So a lot of stuff can be compromised. I watched something Elon Musk was saying that it's dangerous. And you know, like he said, it's kind of gotten away from what it was supposed to originally be, and moved into the danger zone. So what do we do as humans? What do we do to stay, you know, ahead of the game, or can we stay ahead of the game?
Absolutely. Just like people push back on brands and businesses and artists and celebrities and all these things that they don't agree with. You know, I do not necessarily agree with cancel culture, but our dollar has power. So where I spend mine, I can take it back as well. So if something doesn't align with me right here, I don't pour into it. There's entire credit cards I've canceled because I've seen behaviors of brands trying to just become so woke that they've become broke. So subscribe to that, F around and find out, you know. But also when it comes to the human touch, we can show up with our dollar. We can still put ourselves more publicly in position to push back on it wherever possible. I don't even know what that looks like, but I feel like if I'm going to check out my own groceries, I want to get paid for it, man.
Yeah, Yeah, it should be some sort of cash back, right?
So rude. Yeah. Where's the discount? Like, come on.
Self-serving, you're doing the work, packing
A
your own stuff.
Yeah, a lot is changing rapid fire. And I think, you've got to be open minded to a lot, but you have to really feel into it. What is the intention behind it? And if you don't know it well, you shouldn't be on board with it just because everyone else is. I think we can find ourselves in grave danger with that thinking. So I
Yeah.
challenge people to just consider what they do, how they do it, where they go, where they spend their money. And, I think ethics and how people do things ethically, it just matters to me. So we have the power to spend our hard-earned money that way. And I
Right.
think we should.
Here's a thought. What do you think, like I said, all of this smart TVs, cars, phones, and everything, what if with the push of a button, right, they can, which they probably can, come right into where you are, your homes, your cars, your vehicles, and send us whatever message they want us to hear? What if they can take over and take control of the car you're driving?
I've
Yeah,
been a project by the CIA for years now. You know this, don't
yeah,
you?
yeah.
I level you with Project Mockingbird.
Oh, yeah,
In 60s, it's why you see so much of a common thread through the news channels and the legacy media. I don't subscribe to that. I don't watch that. I get my information independently from people and resources that I respect. I challenge everybody to do that. I encourage you. I implore you. Now is the time. Wake it up. Care about things that maybe you've never cared about before. Because programming is real. And much like we can be programmed by television commercials and advertisements and marketing, media, social media, there's so
mm,
many here. We have to try. I'm just trying to walk in my humanism as much as possible anymore and not be sucked into so much of it. Because as long as we're focusing into these phones all day, every day, we're missing so much out here. It's wild.
yeah. We're so busy looking down, we're not
Yeah.
focusing on what's in front of us.
Well, I
You
think
know?
just in several years, if you haven't been paying attention, the world has passed you by. And I feel like more people than ever are paying attention. Um, and it's sad to me how much has been lost when it comes to the human connection and the human touch. And I think that's why relationships are just so much more meaningful to me. And in my sobriety coming up on 2 years, I think that's like one of the number one things that I just appreciate so much more now is how present and connected I can be when I'm sitting across from you, having an experience with you, and I'm not focusing into that phone, that whatever. Like, I just want to be fully engaged
Right,
because that's what makes people feel seen, heard, and understood. And that's the shit that makes the world go round, not the robots.
right.
Like, this technology, I truly believe it's coming more into the light of day. I think it's been around for so long. And we spoke of UAPs last week,
Mhm.
and I've continued to do research down that vein, and I feel like we've had reverse engineered technology, I think, since the 20s or 30s to fly our own craft. And I think a lot of what we see, you ask why we don't have clear quality footage, I think it's by design. I think a lot of what people see, eh, my understanding of that is 70% of what people visually are seeing with their eyes are our own craft. But
Wow.
that can smoke it. I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. It's all food for thought.
Right, right,
I'm
right.
not saying I believe it, just saying
But hey,
everything is possible.
yeah, everything is possible. What now when it comes to phones and stuff like that, how do you feel about, you're out, maybe with your family, your kids, and you're at dinner and everyone is eating, the table is quiet, and everyone is like this on their
Oh,
phones.
I call my people out with that. Like, I love it when my kids come over on the weekends, but I'll look around after dinner and, like, my girls are older now and live on their own, and but they'll come over and they're hanging with their little brother, but they're all looking down, and isn't this great? But I call it out and it's funny, but I respect that our time together shouldn't be submerged in an electronic. And that's not
Right,
like, if I'm with somebody, I don't feel like they're paying attention to me when they're doing that. So
right. Right.
You know, I think there's so much goodness. Like I utilize a lot of great meditation resources. I eat books like candy on podcasts now. So there's such value in having our little computers with all of our data in there alongside of the damage that it can do. But at night, I love hitting that do not disturb, being very present when I need to be. And because of my ADHD, like a ping pong ball, you know, just making sure that I carve out that time and turning like airplane mode on at night. I now use like these Wi-Fi disruptors or neutralizers.
Oh, I know, because I try to reach you at night and I see that, you know, she's in do not disturb or whatever, sleep mode.
I got boundaries like a mofo. Everybody should,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like I'm only so good to show up to others as I care for myself. So if I don't guard this space, then I'm crap. So
Right.
that's not how I like to show up anyway. Gotta
Right.
be critical for you.
Yeah. Now we we talked about the curses of AI. What are some of the gifts? What are some of the pros? I think, I think it made things a little more easily accessible. A lot actually more accessible. It kind of made us a little lazy at times, though, right?
Yes. I think that's the bullseye right there. It has the capability of making people not desire to work harder, to not desire to research and seek the answer. Then we don't really explore up here. Then we don't really learn. We don't really benefit. So we are essentially going to end already dumbing ourselves down. Like we have to choose to learn ongoingly. That's not something that happens once we graduate. Like,
Right.
you know, I feel like that's a gift to keep challenging yourself. And if we no longer are expected to have certain tasks, we're turning into the movie WALL-E. I called this go. Can you imagine?
Yeah, yeah. I know a guy right now. He's in it's not medical school. He's going to school to be a nurse or something. He's taking some online courses, and the guy is doing everything with AI. He's not even really in the books like he should be. He writes his stuff with AI, gets his answers from AI, and he's doing it all online. That's a guy I would not want to work or check on me for anything.
Okay, so now what is the level of skill to people that you're showing up in businesses? Have they done the work? Do they truly have an understanding? Do they grasp the information? Can they sell it to you? Can they take care of you? However they need to show up. I think everything is B team at this point. I don't see people show up big and bold and try to give great service. And when they do, it sure stands apart right now. It puts things in great contrast.
Interesting, right?
Not who I want as my nurse bedside.
Could you imagine? Could you? Right. Could you? Could you imagine what the younger generation is going to have to deal with when we're all gone? You know.
I've raised 3 beautiful humans as best as I can, and they will be set free in the world and whatever. But it's like the upcoming generations, I have this disheartening feeling over what's coming up.
Yeah.
I'm not excited and proud. I don't see people that I want as representatives in society. And yeah, we got to put what we want in the world anymore. And I certainly don't see a lot of something that I would like to see. So,
I'm
you know,
right there with you.
us and our own children.
Yeah.
Those are our spawns we're sending out. And it looks like a lot of people haven't been doing any dang parenting.
Yeah.
If you look around. So.
Absolutely right. You know what? Take it back.
I'll discipline your child. Send them over here. Mine turned out well.
Yeah. All right. We're running out of time. You know what? It's been real. I'm your host, DJ Larry Jones, along with the lovely Tiffany Lee.
DLG.